How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Today's Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. Here, I'm going to answer all the questions you have about eBay dropshipping. I have a bunch saved up from the week, and any questions you guys who are watching live want to ask, I'll be following along to your questions on the phone, answering all your questions. But of course, we're just getting started here, so we're going to give it a few minutes to let some people get into the room before we really get started answering some questions. So just got to pull it up on my phone. Anyone who's here, let me know if you could hear me. Just give me, drop a number 1 in the comments if you could hear me. That'd be great. And let me just pull this up. All right, welcome everyone who's in here. Just pulling up the comments now. All right, Will Spoon's the first one here. Welcome to Will. Brian was second. Ma thought you were second, but you're actually third. Kimberly's here. Kathy Ward back in the house. Welcome, Kathy. Monica's back. Joshua Allen, welcome back. Joshua, glad to see you. Everyone can hear me. Great. I'm super happy to hear that. Cryptocurrency is back as well. Stephen Dallas. Where's everyone coming in from tonight? I'm still here in cold New York. Everyone here in the Hustle House is sick. My throat's a little sore. Chad's in the other room coughing. The only one who's feeling great is the dog right now. So I should be fine for tonight. Probably will lose my voice tomorrow, but for tonight I'm doing fine. Ohio, All Things Geek, of course, is here from Ohio. Olivia from Toronto. Kaylee from Oklahoma City. Cold in Atlanta, Monica. I was expected to be a little warmer down there. Glenn's back. Welcome, Glenn from West Virginia. Sacramento, DR. Alejandro's here from DR. Flint, Michigan, Joshua Allen. I do not envy you. Every week, you get the same story. Hey, Al. Good to see you. South Beach, Florida. Welcome, Trey. Okay, we already have a bunch of people in here. George is from Fort Lauderdale here. Welcome, George. I was there maybe a month ago now. Great place, beautiful area. Brian's here from Charlotte. All right, so we have lots of people here. Okay, so I'm going to get started since we already have a big turnout already. So I have some questions here from the week. Noel was asking me a great question. He said he had a best-selling item on eBay that sold almost once a day, every day for a few weeks, even after he increased the price. But lately, he's suddenly not getting any orders for that particular reason. What could be the reason for that? Well, Noel, there could be a couple of reasons for that. The first thing you want to see is look at the price history. It's possible that the price has gone up in Walmart.com or whatever source you're using, which means that the price on eBay for your eBay listing is also going to go up. If that happens, let me center myself here. If that happens, that means the price, the customer is going to see higher price. So they might be less likely to buy it for that reason. It's not your fault. It's the source's price that raised it. It's also possible that your item was sniped. So what you want to do is search, copy down your title, open up an incognito tab or window, go to ebay.com and search for that title for your item. See if anyone else has the same or a substantially similar title. Chances are they sniped you and undercut you. The other option is that it might just be an item that was seasonal. So maybe it was something like a snow broom or snow brush, and people were buying a lot of them maybe over the winter, and now that's starting to warm up, even though it's not warming up. But theoretically, it should be warming up, so people are less likely to buy those things now. So those are usually the top 3 reasons why an item that's really popular might suddenly not be popular anymore. Nicholas is saying 6 inches of snow in Indiana here on the first day of spring. Yeah, beautiful first day of spring here all across the country. Okay. Rainy. Okay. Hector thinks that the item was sniped. He thinks that's the reason. Yeah, it could be. Really, a lot of times it's just a seasonal thing. Some items are more popular other times of year. So I wouldn't immediately jump to that conclusion. Alejandro likes my t-shirt. Thanks. I like this t-shirt too. Okay. Brian asked a question. He said, "Hi, Paul. Love the videos." Thanks, Brian. Question: how will the new eBay update and move to one page per UPC affect drop shipping? It will look more like Amazon in that unless you sell the product that you have no unique identifiers, you'll be competing solely on price. Okay. So Brian, I kind of answered this during one of my Q&As. I think it was 2 Q&As ago. eBay is trying to roll out this new system. They're being very slow with it, kind of testing things out. They're only doing it for certain products right now. Things like Kindle and Amazon products, coincidentally. And my belief is that it's not going to work for more items that aren't branded, like Apple or Kindle, things like that. A lot of things that we sell, I don't think it's going to work for those because it's just not what eBay does. eBay is like a marketplace that people come to find a deal. They want to look through all the different listings. That's what they want to do. People go to Amazon for that Amazon experience. If eBay tries to be like Amazon, they're not going to be able to compete with Amazon, and they're not going to be able to make it in the world of e-commerce, and they'll just be redundant. So my belief is that it's not going to work. Lucky says, what is the platform that you run your affiliate program on? Which affiliate program? Okay. Oh, for the course, I see. Oh, yeah. So there are some affiliates for my course. It's built into the platform. I run my course off of a platform called Teachable. Really great company, Teachable. I love them. So it's just all built in there together. Courageous Beauty also likes the t-shirt. Thanks, Courageous Beauty. Ali Chaff says, do you have credit card buying limits? If so, how do you deal with it? So yes, I do have credit card limits. I primarily have 2 cards. Sorry, I primarily have 2 cards. One, the limit's $10,000. One, the limit is $25,000. I actually also have a Amazon Prime credit card. I think the limit's $5,000 on that one. I don't use it. I'm just starting to use that one a lot more, so I'm not actually sure what the limit is. I think it's 5 or 10. So it is a big problem. This is like one of the biggest things I struggle with in the beginning as I started to take off was credit card limits, because I want to use my credit cards as much as possible to get the cash back. But there's obviously limits, and my limits at first were like $5,000, and I only have 1 card. So it was very frustrating. Eventually what I did was I got a Wells Fargo business secured card. And the way this works is your limit is whatever you want it to be, up to $25,000. But the catch is Wells Fargo Bank will hold on to whatever your credit limit is. Let me explain that a little better. So right now my credit limit is $25,000. So Wells Fargo has in a specified account $25,000 of my money, and they just hold on to that as collateral, or just in case I don't pay off my credit card. So I still have to pay off my credit card every month, or actually I pay it off every other day as normal. But once I close the card or I upgrade to an unsecured card, they're going to give me the $25,000 back. So that's the way a secured card works. I started out with just $5,000, then I upgraded to $10,000, and then I upgraded to $25,000, which is the most you can go. And now I'm pretty much good. I'm not running into, well, actually that's not true. Like last week I hit my limit on that card. But in general, if I pace it out correctly and you know stagger the cards, I won't hit my limit, and I've gotten pretty good at that. Okay, Lucky Lifestyle says, I love your course. I hit my first $1,000 with $300 profit. Thank you, Lucky. That's awesome to hear. Congratulations. I'm glad to hear that this is helping. My course is helping so many people, you know, begin to make money online and to really change your life. So congratulations on that. Now, I only showed you how to do it. Obviously, you're the one putting in the hard work. So you should be thanking yourself for that. Rodrigo says, are you close to bringing out your VA course? Yes, I am. I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the month. I'm probably about halfway through it. It's taking me a little bit longer than I would like, just because I really have no excuse. I've been working on it. It's just going a little slower than I wanted to, but it should be finished by the end of the month, which means I'll release it maybe the last day of the month or very early next month. Okay. Okay, so another question. Okay, so somebody inside the course, because we have a private Facebook group for the course, they said that they shipped an item to a customer. It was an electronic item, and they plugged it into the charger into their travel adapter, and then it made a loud bang and smoke, and they switched it off, but now it won't work. So what should they do? What should the seller do? So luckily, this seller took my course, and I tell everyone in my course when they list an item to put this specific blurb in there that basically says that that these electronic items only work in certain situations, in certain countries, yada yada. So luckily, this seller followed my advice, put that blurb in there, and because of that, they're off the hook. So if eBay, if the person opens up a return case, the seller can just call eBay and say, hey, look, I told them that this item doesn't work in their country. It doesn't work with an adapter. They did it anyway. It was at their own risk. Therefore, if they want to ship it back, they can, but they're going to be responsible for paying to ship it back. And in 99% of the time, the buyer won't even bother to ship it back. It's just too much work for them. So that's why we're proactive about it, and we put that into every description so that it doesn't mess things up when the buyers do mess up, because they do. Glenn says 3. I'm not sure. Sorry, Glenn. I'm not sure why you said 3.9. Congrats. I'm not sure what that means, Glenn. Are those your sales? I'm just curious. Okay. Alice wants to know if anyone drop ships from IKEA. I've never heard of that, but if anyone is drop shipping from IKEA, let Alice know, because I'd be curious myself. Well, Flipping Digits says, Paul the Guru, what's up, brother? I don't think I'm a guru. I think that has a very negative term, guru, these days. Oh, Carmen says 3.9 thousand subscribers. Yeah, thanks, Carmen. Thanks for clearing that up. Yeah, very close to 4,000 subscribers. I'm really excited. I feel like every other week we hit another huge milestone. And I did promise you guys that when I hit 4,000, I would do some sort of giveaway and something different this time. Well, I would, of course, give away another subscription to the course, because so many of you guys really want that, and so many of you guys are dying to get in. So I will, of course, be giving away one free entry to the course, but I want to give away something else fun. I'm reading a couple books that if I like one of them a lot and I think it would help anybody who is drop shipping, I would give away one of those books too. I'll go over that later. But yeah, I'm going to give away some more great stuff. So if you want to be in the running to win one of the prizes, whatever it might be, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can only win if you're subscribed. And I'm only going to give stuff away once I hit 4,000 subscribers. So make sure you actually subscribe so we can get that number up and we can start giving some stuff away. Julia Pretty Wolf is here. Welcome, Julie. Okay. So Alejandro wants me to give away the t-shirt. That's not a bad idea. Okay. Let's see what else. Mark said, okay, so Mark said he received a notification from his buyer that the buyer never received the item. but it's marked as delivered on eBay.com and the tracking number shows delivered. What do? You're off the hook, Mark. At that point, as soon as it's marked as delivered on eBay, or if you have a tracking number that shows who's delivered, you're done. You're off the hook. You can just, of course you want to be nice to the buyer, give good customer service, say, hey, I'm sorry you didn't receive the item. What you should do is contact the carrier, UPS, FedEx, On Track, whatever it is, and open up a case with them, ask them where it is. Maybe check with your neighbors, see if your neighbors accidentally got it. That happens all the time. It happens all the time here in New York. I have neighbors coming in all the time saying, hey, have your package, or vice versa. But other than that, you're off the hook. eBay might refund them, but they won't take the money out of your account. eBay will refund them through their money. Okay. Austin's looking for the scripts I give away for the customer service. You should go to our website. Right now it's www.thehustlehusbands.com. And on the right-hand side, you'll be able to sign up. And if you sign up through that, you'll get the scripts. And he's talking about the scripts that we use for our customer service. These are scripts I give my VAs so that they can answer customer questions. Of course, you're going to want to adapt them to your needs, but they're a great starting place. Mike says I should give away $1 million. That's a great idea, Mike. I wish I could afford to give away $1 million, but I can't. Okay, Justin is looking for the tax exempt video for the course. So inside the course, I show you how to become tax exempt on Walmart and HomeDepot.com. In fact, anyone who's here, who's in the course, I just updated the video for Walmart. Walmart recently just made some changes to their tax exempt program. So I was working with one of my students, Barry. He's really helping me out a lot. And we fixed it together. So if you go back to lesson 15.4, which is all about becoming tax exempt on Walmart.com, I've changed the video, I fixed it so it's 100% correct now. Barry said that he just went in, followed the video to a T, and within 4 hours, he was tax exempt at Walmart. So there's a big update there. Other people are looking for the Amazon tax exempt video, which I should have finished by the end of the weekend and uploaded into the course. So stay tuned for that. It is coming, I promise. So lots of people have great suggestions of things to give away. So, but we'll see what happens when we hit 4,000. Definitely one of the courses and the book. Don't know about the shirt. I like the shirt. I guess I could buy another one though. Yeah, and Steve makes a good point that if you buy the course, the scripts are within the course as well. Yeah, Phil says, do your VAs call eBay for you? How do they identify themselves? So yeah, Phil, my VAs do call eBay for me. They do things like ask to get feedback removed, things like that. So yeah, they just say they're me. So Timothy says, do you have any way around Walmart only letting you complete a purchase order to a single address? No, as far as I know, there's no way around that. You have to just place the orders one by one. Julia makes a good point here. Julia, Pretty Wolf, DSM tool is indispensable and costs little. Yeah, I talk a lot about how much I love DSM tool. One of the reasons I love it is just because I think it works really well. The other reason is because it's very affordable, especially for new sellers. So this is the tool that I use to list items onto eBay, and it also reprices the item. So if you're interested in checking out that, there's always a link to it in the description of my video. It is an affiliate link. I do get a small commission if you guys click and buy through that link, but it's not very much. And there's also a free trial. So I'll get an affiliate fee of $0 if you use a free trial, but that's okay because I really think it's the best software out there just because it's so easy to use and cheap. Okay. I see some of these other questions I have. That's all the questions I had from the week. So if anyone has questions here, Lucky Lifestyle Designer said that now you have to call in whenever you become tax exempt whenever you're trying to become tax exempt at Home Depot. So that must be a new change. So I'm going to update that in the course as well. I want to make sure that all the right information is in there. Now, eBay dropshipping game, it's constantly changing. So I'm trying to keep up. Well, I will be keeping up with the course as best as I can with all these changes. And obviously, like I said, Walmart just changed. I updated that video. Looks like Home Depot even made some small changes. I want to make sure that those changes are in the course as well. Okay. Just grab some water here. My throat's getting dry. So Thomas said, hey, bro, is it worth it to change from Web Seller Guru to DSM Tool as a listing tool? So Web Seller Guru is another listing tool like DSM Tool, like SKUGrid / HydroLister. I've looked at Web Seller Guru. I've never used it though. And off the top of my head, I don't remember all the specifics about Web Seller Guru. I think if I remember right, they're somewhat limited in the stores you can list from. But hey, this is what I say. If it works for you, don't change it. If it's working for you and there's no problems with it, then keep using the one that you're used to. I just recommend DSM Tool because I've used it. I like it. It's affordable. But if Web Seller Guru is also all those things and you're happy with it, then don't change it. There's no need to, try to find the best software out there. If it does a job, if you can list and it reprices the item and you're happy with it, just stick with it. Okay. So cryptocurrency asks is in the course, does it teach you how to set up an LLC? So there is a lesson on LLCs. It's just general information about when you should start an LLC, how you should start an LLC, well, not how, when, the very basics of what an LLC is, what the benefits are. But I can't tell you how to set up an LLC because everyone's situation is different. For some people, it might not be the best idea to set up an LLC, although in general, I think for a small e-commerce store, it is generally the best way to incorporate, or the best business structure for you. But everyone's different and every state is different. So I can't explain how to set up an LLC when there's 50 different jurisdictions where you can set one up in. So you're gonna have to either figure it out for yourself, go on a website like LegalZoom, although I don't really like those websites. The best thing to do is to speak to an attorney in your home state who can help you set it up. Okay, so David asked a great question about DSM Tool. It's like the theme of the night is people asking questions about DSM Tool. That's okay though, because I love it. I love talking about it. So he wants to use DSM Tool to dropship from Home Depot. But he makes a good point, which is that if you have the free version, you can't use it with Home Depot. You can only use the free version with Amazon and Walmart. So you have to get what's called the VIP subscription, which basically means your first paid plan that's available. So David wants to know what's the cheapest plan you can use to get the VIP status. And there's a $10 a month plan. So if you click where you can upgrade your plan, it's going to automatically pop up and say there's a $15 plan. But if you move the bar just to your left, you can move it down to $10. So you can save yourself $5 a month. I think it's only 100 items for $10. So do that and you'll get the VIP status. Okay. Nikki, sorry, says, how much were you listing a day before you started paying a VA to do the listing? So that's a good question. Back then I was using SKUGrid and HydroLister, and it's a bit slower. And if I remember right, a day, I was probably doing 15 a day, 15 to 20, I mean. I could probably do it a little faster now. I just find that DSM tool works a little quicker for me than SKUGrid HydroLister. But yeah, about 15 to 20 a day. And that's about how much the VA is doing now too. Yeah, Naughty Ash has a great question. Can you still do guest checkout at Home Depot after getting your account tax exempt? Or do you need to log into your Home Depot account to avail the tax-free sale? I like your use of language there. Avail yourself of the tax-free sale. I'm just giving you a hard time. So you can still do guest checkout. If you sign into your Home Depot account, then the tax exempt number when you check out is going to automatically be there. So you don't have to enter it. But if you do a guest checkout, you can manually enter that tax exempt number. So you'll get tax exempt no matter if you do guest checkout or not. You can also use it in store, but just make sure you're using it correctly. Any item you buy, I'll say this in general, any item that you buy using a tax exempt number, certificate, has to be for resale. If you buy something using a tax exempt number and don't pay tax exempt for that, you don't pay tax for that reason, and then you keep and use the item, that's bad. You're not allowed to do that. So I'm sure you guys know that, but just want to remind you guys about that. So Joshua says, Paul, as it pertains to returns, do you refund items before the source gets the item back for the sake of customer service? Generally, yes. What's great about Home Depot is Home Depot will refund me as soon as the customer ships back the item. As soon as UPS makes that first scan, they're going to refund me, which is pretty amazing because they haven't even gotten the item back yet. They haven't even looked at it. They don't even know if I sent back the right item. So the fact that they're refunding me so quickly shows how awesome their customer service is. Another reason I love drop shipping from Home Depot. So as soon as I'm refunded from Home Depot, I refund the customer. And in general, if the customer ships back the item or they ship it to the source, I'm going to refund them as soon as I can or as soon as I realize that, because I just don't want to keep them waiting and I don't want to forget to do it later. Okay. Manetti says you just popped in to say hi, hello, welcome. I don't know if you're leaving, but it's good to see you for a minute. Julia, I forgot that Julia Pretty Wolf is also an attorney, so she can ring in a little bit about these LLCs. So she says that LLCs vary by the state, so we can't give you a formula, sorry. But if you invest a few hours with an attorney in your state, it's well worth it to get started right. Great advice. Everyone should listen to Julia there. Okay, Joshua says, I'm spending a lot of time handling customer service questions and concerns. How long did you wait before bringing in a VA? Joshua, I waited too long, honestly. So I say this with anyone who's considering hiring a virtual assistant. You should hire a virtual assistant when you're doing a task that's taking so much time and energy and effort that you're not putting in the time and energy needed to grow your store. So if this is taking up a lot of time for you, you should hire a virtual assistant. If you check out my description, I have a link to onlinejobs.ph, which is where I hire all my VAs from. You can get a VA to do customer service for $2.50 an hour. You might even be able to get $2 an hour. For the customer service, I always like to pay them a little bit extra, so $2.50 is more than reasonable. For this kind of task, this is one of the ones that I really suggest that you start a little bit earlier than the other ones, only because it does require so much training. Even if they speak English very well, and they've done customer service in the past, you're going to want things done a very specific way because this is your store. Every store is run differently. So you can always start training them a little bit early, have them only working like a couple of hours a day just to start to get in the routine, because it does take a while for them to understand and learn the whole system. So I would say if it's taking you more than a few hours, a couple or a few hours a day, you might want to start thinking about training one. Okay. That was a great question. And if you guys are getting value out of this information, if you guys like, if I'm answering your question, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. It's the best way for you to say thank you to me for answering your question. So if I answered your question and you appreciate the response, I would appreciate a thumbs up. So thanks, guys. Okay. Got to go back a little bit because I missed a bunch of questions. Okay. Coinbit Crypto asks, if I buy the $9.97 plan with DSM Tool, can I use AliExpress? I think so, but I've never used AliExpress. So Phil Allen asked a great question. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have the answer that you're looking for here. He wants to know, is there a way to set up a limited access for VAs to log into eBay? Unfortunately, there is not. There is a way to do it with PayPal, though. And one of the things I'm spending a lot of time talking about in my course that I'm creating for virtual assistant training and hiring is how to have VAs work on your store, your store without ever logging in to eBay. So this is using various softwares like DSM Tool to list items. They can actually answer customer questions within DSM Tool as well. And there's a lot of different softwares they can use to manage your store without actually having to log into eBay. Finn's Fan says, do you suggest creating an eBay niche store or a general store? I say a general store. On eBay, you really don't need a niche store. And that's because niche stores are really more designed for things like Shopify, where people are going to come to your website and see like, oh, there's a whole bunch of items here, about dogs, dog toys, But on eBay, they don't really go to your store. They just go to the eBay search bar and put in what they're looking for. So one day that might be dog toys, one day that might be, tables, whatever. So they don't really go to your store, which is why you really shouldn't have a niche store on eBay. It really makes no sense, in my opinion. So Amanda just sent me a message, asked, hey, what was that thing you mentioned using a long time ago that would track specific words on a page to alert you when something changes? So I think what Amanda's asking me about is the website distill.io, if I'm remembering that correctly. And what that website would do is like a really simplified, cheap version of DSM Tool that doesn't quite work as well. So what it would do is you would go on Distill.io and you would put in a website. So let's say you would put in the URL for the item you're tracking on Amazon. Then you would select on that page what part of that page you want to monitor. So I used to monitor the price. Let's say the price was $15. So if that 15 changed, if it went up or down, I would get an email telling me, oh, the price went up or down. I mean, that was useful at the time because there weren't great softwares that were affordable like there are now, like with DSM Tool. But the problem with it is every time the price changed, I would then have to go on eBay and manually change it. But it's a pretty cool program if you ever have to track anything else. If you ever want to see if something else on some other random site ever changes, check out distill.io if for some reason you need to do that. But for something like eBay dropshipping, I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't use that at all. I would use DSM Tool or another Repricer that you like. Yeah, Autumn West makes a great point. Autumn says you should train your VA well before quarter 4. That's an amazing point, because in quarter 4, which is the last 3 months of the year, things are nuts. You don't want to be trying new things during the last 3 months of the year. You don't want to be training someone during that time. Start getting everything locked down in the late summer, in the fall. And as soon as quarter 4 hits, you want to have a system in place that's ready to go, because quarter 4 is going to explode. It's going to be amazing, but you'll get left behind and you'll get crushed under everything if you're still trying to figure things out during that time period, and if you're trying to train people during that time period. So get your systems in place, start now, and make sure they're really solid by the fall. Julia Prettywolf, it's like the hero today, is making great suggestions left and right. Julie says that if there's rumors that if you do something, or just something on your store frequently, you will get a bump in Cassini's algorithm. Cassini is the algorithm used by eBay for your ranking. So basically what the rumor is, or the belief is that you have to do something in your store every day. So whether that's listing items or doing best offers, just something to show eBay that, yeah, you're being an active seller, you're actively using their website, and that eBay likes that, and they're more likely to rank your items higher for that reason. We don't know if that's true because eBay's algorithm is super secret, but I've also found that it's true. On the days when before I had VAs, if I didn't touch my store for a few days, then I found that my orders went down, that things got better as soon as I began to do just anything on the store. Really, it's hard not to do something on the store because you have to answer customer questions, place orders, upload tracking numbers, all that stuff. But I just, in general, find that the more I do with my store, the more eBay seems to like it. Okay. So Adam says, I was wondering how some people are able to drop ship items that are less than 10 bucks without having to pay shipping and taxes, or like to sell cheap items to build my store up. If you're going with that technique, a great way to do that is with Amazon. Amazon Prime, get free 2-day shipping. A lot of items, even if you don't yet get tax exempt, a lot of items you'll find are already tax exempt, or just don't, sorry. A lot of items just naturally don't have tax attached to them, so you won't have to worry about tax. It's free shipping, it goes out quickly, the customer's happy, so boom, you're getting easy, cheap items being sent out. Happy customers mean more positive feedback, more sales. That shows that eBay that you're a great seller. They're more likely to give you a limit increase and make your rankings higher. Columbia wants to know if I use cryptocurrency for any reason. No, I bought one Litecoin once. It went down in value the next day. So that was the end of my Litecoin, my cryptocurrency journey. I always had fantasies of like, oh, what if I just bought Bitcoin like 10 years ago? But I think we've all thought that. But it's so up and down. So I don't know too much about it. So don't listen to me about cryptocurrency. Allison gave me a thumbs up, says, love all your videos. They're so informative, great stuff. Thanks, Allison. Really appreciate that. Okay. Okay, Lisa says, if you reach the maximum number of listings on eBay, so if you hit your listing limit and you have to then wait, what can you do for your business in the meantime? Well, there are a few things that you could do. One, you can go through your listings and really make sure that they're well optimized. Make sure the titles are great. Look at the images. See, maybe the main image isn't the best image. Maybe you want to change it to another one. Maybe you want to beef up the description a little bit. I did this. One of the first items I ever listed had a 2-sentence description. So when I hit my limit or just waiting around to see more sales, I went in, I created my own description for it. And it was an awesome description. It's still one of the best sellers in my store, even though it's been copied a bunch of times. So I know these people copied my listing because it was my own original description. But yeah, those are the different things you can do. You can also try to check out some other suppliers or find ways to save money on the back end. Like if you're not yet tax exempt on certain websites, you can then spend that time to go through the process of becoming tax exempt. So different things like that is what I did when I was waiting. And of course, watch a bunch of YouTube videos. Okay. Brian says, Amazon requires me to be tax exempt in every state to not pay taxes on items. Does that sound correct? No, it doesn't sound correct. But I'm not sure where you live, Brian, if you live in the United States or outside the United States. But generally, you only have to get a sales tax number for one state, and then you become tax exempt in several states, but not all of them. Amy says, do you offer free returns? I do now. I've gone back and forth. I've tried 20%, I've tried less, I've tried 0. Don't really find that it makes too much of a difference. I don't think sellers really even look at it. I'm sorry, buyers really even look at it. But eBay is going to require us soon to give free returns anyway. So I just changed it over to that. I'm changing it over. I'm like kind of doing like a split test to test it, although it doesn't really matter at this point because, like I said, eBay is making us do free returns anyway, which isn't really a big deal because our suppliers are going to give us free return prepaid labels anyway. So every time an item is returned to Home Depot, I just contact Home Depot and they will send me a label. But usually what they do is they actually have UPS go and pick up the item. So the customer doesn't even have to bring the item to a UPS store. Customers love that. And even if it's a return for something I messed up on or Home Depot messed up on, which is pretty rare, customers are so happy that they don't have to actually go to the store to return it. It really makes a big difference. Sylvia says, are you solving every negative feedback? So I really believe that you can get 99.99% of your negative feedback removed. There's been like a very few that I haven't been able to get removed. And part of it's just because I gave up. And I feel like if I kept going, I could have gotten them removed. But I found that it doesn't matter too much. In the beginning, I think it's really important to maintain 100% positive feedback. And in the beginning, I find it's really easy to do that. But as your store, or even if it's not easy, it's very doable. It's very doable to maintain 100% or near 100%. As your store grows and you're having hundreds of orders a day, it becomes more difficult. I kept it for a long time. It has dropped a little bit under 100%, but not much. I still try to remove every feedback, but I pick my battles more. If eBay says no, they won't remove it, and the customer says no, they won't change it. At some point, for some of them, I'll give up unless I'm very confident that it's not going to require too much more work to get it removed. But yeah, definitely in the beginning, I would keep it at 100% for as long as you can. Yeah, Dave makes a great point, which I kind of hinted at before, but Dave said it better than I did. Look at other sellers if you're buying items off of Amazon, look at the other sellers who are selling the item on Amazon. Generally, they won't charge tax compared to Amazon's listing itself. So always make sure to look at who else is selling it and whether they charge that tax. How to put checking money at the Okay. So Juan says, what do you put for a tracking number when you have to buy the item from another eBay seller and ship it to your customer? So in that case, you're kind of out of luck because eBay will only allow a tracking number to be uploaded to their system once. So if another seller already used it, you can't use it. So you're kind of out of luck there. I would just send the customer the tracking number through the messaging system. Say, hey, it's on its way. Here's the number. And that will satisfy the customer, even if you can't upload it to eBay. CMonkeys321 says, Q&A sessions result in golden nuggets flying everywhere, hitting the thumbs up button. I like that, CMonkeys. Yes, Wilson Clinton. Home Depot does use OnTrack sometimes as a shipper instead of UPS, but eBay does recognize OnTrack. So just put it in with the number and then write in OnTrack. So somebody wants to know, I don't know how to pronounce your username, but it says, why don't you use an automated ordering system in place of your VAs if DSM has the ability to auto order? Because it doesn't work for Home Depot, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think it would work. I think it would only place the orders one at a time, and I like to group my items into one order. And my VAs know how to do that, and DSM tool doesn't. Okay. Okay. So David says, eBay just removed one of my listings due to a picture violation. What is the best way to avoid this from happening? So this is probably an item that violated Vero, V-E-R-O. So if you use DSM tool, you can turn on a function that will tell you if the item violates Vero. Sorry, guys. So Vero is basically saying you can't use our images, you can't use our descriptions because the manufacturer took those images, wrote that copy for the item, and doesn't want people using it without their permission. So there's a list of items that are, brands that are on the Vero protection, Vero protection list. So you can look up Vero, or you could turn it on if you're using DSM tools in the settings. Make sure that the box next to Vero protections is green. That way it will alert you if the item you're listing is Vero protected. Okay, Kathy Ward, another great question. When I'm listing an item from Home Depot, sometimes it says that they don't ship to some locations. Usually this is Puerto Rico and a couple of others. Do I need to put this in my listing? So I would only put it in your listing if it's a lower 48 states, one of the lower 48 states. Sorry. So if it's like Puerto Rico, your eBay, settings should already say that you don't ship to Puerto Rico anyway. But some states, some items you can ship to some states, and there's different reasons for this. A lot of items won't ship to California because they have Proposition 65, all these rules out there. And some items won't ship to New York, like knives or what they call safety razors, not safety razors, but box cutters. A lot of times you can't ship to New York. So if it's one of the lower 48 states, I would definitely put in the listing, we do not ship this item to New York or California. Those are usually the two big ones. It's usually California. So Rich is asking if DSM tool works well after a few thousand listings. I haven't had a problem with it. So Al asked, do I pay my VAs who list by the listing or by the hour. I pay them by the hour. I know this is very different than the way other people do it. Most people pay per listing. They say, you know, for every listing, I'm going to pay you 20 cents or 30 cents. I never, well, that's not true. I had a VA in the past that I paid them that way. Now I pay the woman who lists for me by the hour. And that's because I just want her to do a good job. I don't want her to list just any item and to rush through it. I want her to spend the time that's necessary to make a good quality listing that's well researched. And I've worked with her in the past on other projects before I hired her for this. She's extremely bright. She's very trustworthy. I know she's not going to just waste time. Plus, I make her write down every listing she does. She's doing a lot of listings a day, well in line with how many she should be doing. And I've checked them, they're quality listings. I think it's the fair thing to do because, you know, if they're listing items and they're doing research and they just can't find an item to list, that's not always their fault. Some days you just, even when I'm listing, some days I just don't have much luck with listing. I only get like a couple maybe in an hour. So that, I think that would be very unfair to make her do research on listings before she lists them, and then to only pay her per listing. So I think the more fair thing to do is to pay her by the hour. And I'm only paying her $2.50 an hour. So So Sergio says, Sergio doesn't like that DSM tool extension doesn't really work for Home Depot like it does for Walmart and Amazon. What should you do? Cheers from sunny California. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, so those ones we manually enter onto Home Depot. There's just no way around that. You could download an extension for Chrome, which has what's called like a permanent clipboard, it's called, or it's like a more, its clipboard has a longer memory, so you can copy down the name, copy, then you highlight the address, copy, then zip code, copy, and then when you right click in Home Depot, it will give a drop down and show you all of those, and you can choose which one to paste in. So I don't know if I did the best job of explaining that, but look up something called like not permanent clipboards, like a bigger clipboard or something. That might help you speed it up a little bit. Phil says, do I use a time tracker for your VAs? Okay, so Phil, here's the thing. And again, this is all going to be covered in my VA course. Hey, another thing, if you guys are at all interested in my VA course, there should be a link in the description of this video where you can sign up. And if you sign up, just saying that you're interested in the VA course, not that you're actually going to buy it. There's no commitment at this time. Just if there's any interest, anytime I make a video about hiring and training VAs, I'll send it to you, like any free videos. And as soon as the course is ready, I'll let you guys know before I let anyone else know that the VA course is ready. So like this video, I'll probably send out because I'm answering a lot of questions about VAs in this Q&A. So I'll probably send this to everyone on the list. But if you're interested at all in that, make sure to sign up in the description of this video. There's a link. There should be a link to it. Hope it's still there. So Phil is asking, yeah, about time tracking. Do I do time tracking for my VAs? This is something I will cover in the course. But in a nutshell, if you use Upwork, which I don't hire from anymore, there is a time tracker built into it. And there is one actually built into onlinejobs.ph, which is the one I do recommend. That's the one I mentioned before, is linked up in the description of this video. Some of my VAs use them, but I never check them. I check them in the beginning when I just hire the VA, but I really give a lot of trust to my VAs. I find people that I work with, I build up the trust slowly because I don't have time to manage all these people. I don't want to be going in to check if they're doing their work. I trust them. I know they're going to be doing it because they've always done a great job in the past. And it's really important that you build that kind of like teamwork and camaraderie with your team of VAs, because you don't have time to micromanage them. You don't. And if you do that, is no benefit to having them. So yeah, in the beginning, you definitely want to be checking that. And there is software built into the most popular programs for hiring VAs that will show you if they're actually doing the work and when they're doing it. But ultimately, you want to stop that. You don't have to tell them you're not looking at it. Every once in a while, you might want to go in and just make a random comment about it just to let them think that you're checking it every day. But I just don't have time to do it. And you really shouldn't be spending time doing it after a while either. So my VAs are from India and the Philippines. Okay. So Coin Crypto says, can you show us how much money you made today? Ty Lopez says, money says people lie, money numbers don't. So I could send you a snapshot. The only reason I'm not going to show you right now is because I would have to log into my account, and we only have like 5 more minutes. I could send you a snapshot right after. I could set it up to show you guys next week. I just don't want to log in right now. You might see my username and password. But I've shared it many times on this YouTube channel, my numbers from both eBay and from PayPal. So check out some of those videos. I do an income report at the end of every month. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss that income report, subscribe to the channel. In that income report, I go into my eBay store. Obviously, I blur out things so you guys can't copy. And you'll see the numbers. I log into PayPal so you can see them. Those, yeah, Ty Lopez, love him or hate him. That's right, though. The numbers don't lie. So make sure if you want to check out my numbers, you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss my income reports when they go up. Okay. So Nikki says, do you ever offer a different item if the item the customer originally wanted is unavailable? I used to do that when I had fewer orders. Now it's just kind of unmanageable for me to do it. If I have a customer that's particularly difficult or upset, I should say actually, that their item isn't available, I'll try to do that. Oh my God, Julia's saying she's still having nightmares. She used to be an attorney, a lawyer. She's still having nightmares about billing every 10-minute increments. So as a lawyer, if you're in private practice, you have to keep a timesheet and you have to keep track of what you're doing every 10 minutes. You have to write down what you're doing. It's called billable hours. I've never been in private practice for this reason, or this is one of the reasons. It sounds like a complete nightmare to me. Lisa says, can you get tax exempt if a formal business is not set up yet? Yes, you can. Kathy makes another great point. She says 134 people are watching, but there have been only 71 likes. What is going on, guys? If you guys like this video, if you guys are learning something, if I answer your question, or maybe a question that you had that someone else asked, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It's the best way for you guys to thank me. We're running out of time, so running out of time to give me a thumbs up. But yeah, I would actually, in seriousness, I would appreciate that. What do you, oh, so Nicholas asks a hard question for me. What do you love more, eBay or YouTube? That's a tricky one. So I've been doing eBay much longer, but I really love this. Being on here, talking to you guys, being in front of the camera, making the course, all the courses, I really love this. So I really loved eBay in the beginning. Now I'm really loving this. I'm just happy I can do both, but I guess it's YouTube. I really like doing this. Yeah, and Phil, Joshua, anyone in the eBay dropshipping, I can't talk anymore. It's getting late. Anyone in the Dropshipping Titans course, which is like my flagship course all about eBay dropshipping, anyone in that course is going to get notified when the VA course is available. no questions asked about that. So Phil, I never write as a reason that the item, as a reason that the order was canceled, that the item was damaged. I never do that. Andrew says you can't ship a lamp without a bulb to California. I have no idea if that's true, but I would bet 20 bucks that it is true. You get all sorts of wacky things, all these wacky rules coming out of California. So David says, Paul, thanks for all your time and assistance. Your Titans course has been a great help. Thanks, David. Okay, guys, so it is 1 minute to 9. I'm going to stop the Q&A just in like a minute. Maybe there's one more question. If you want, I'll stick around, hang out with you guys, talk to you for a minute, show you a couple of things I've been up to, not related to drop shipping. Nicholas says, simply just want to thank you, Paul. You're a great person. Nicholas, I really appreciate that. Thanks, man. Rodrigo says, Paul is dropping that fire. I like that. Okay, so thanks so much, everyone who has come out, who comes out every week, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. to listen to me, talk to you guys, give you guys answers to your questions. I appreciate it, so appreciate you guys coming out every single week. Like I said, when I hit 4,000 subscribers, we're going to do some giveaways. We're so close again. I'm going to be giving away so much stuff, it seems like, going forward, because every time I say, oh, you know, when I hit the next 1,000, I'll give away some more stuff. And it always amazes me how quickly we hit the next milestone. So thanks, and that's thanks to you guys. So really appreciate it. Kind of blows my mind how many people watch this content. But in a way it doesn't, because I know the stuff I'm giving you guys is helpful just based on your feedback. So just, really, guys, just thank you guys for watching and coming by every week. So Julia wants to hear more about my hustle hound, Lando, wants to know more about Lando. So, you know, I might make a little video all about my little puppy, who's not a puppy, but he's acts like one all the time. So, and he's so tiny, he's like a puppy. Yeah, his name's Lando. Thanks, Joshua. Thanks for coming by. So real quick, I'll answer this question by E. Mendez. Says, I'm getting too many sales. Now PayPal is holding my funds. So just call PayPal. You have to do some sort of verification with them. Stay on the phone with them. They're going to tell you exactly what you need to do. Don't hang up with them until they lift the suspension on your account. Same thing happened to me. Okay. So I mentioned last week, I was reading this book, Rise of the Youpreneur, by Chris Ducker. Pretty much finished it. It was a great book. Like I said last week, it has nothing to do with eBay dropshipping. It's just like a really great book about personal branding, which is like what I'm trying to do on this YouTube channel to make it a better experience for you guys and let you guys know a little bit more about who I am and to put myself more into the YouTube channel. So this is a great book. I really liked it. I think I'm going to be able to get a lot out of it that's going to make my YouTube channel better. So I have like a very small amount left. So once I finish that book, I'll be moving on to this book, which you can read the title of yourself, which Becky from Broke to Boss Girl recommended this book. So we're going to have like a little bit of a book club going on with it. So maybe we'll have like a what's it called? Collab video where we talk about the book. She said it was a great book. I'm excited to read it. If it's a good book, and I think it'd be great for dropshipping, this might be one of the like random things I give away when I hit 4,000 subscribers. So excited by that one. Spent the weekend checking out. We actually went upstate New York, checked out a sailboat. We went sailing like a month ago, had a great time doing it. We loved it. So we kind of want to buy a sailboat now. And so we were checking out this pretty cool boat upstate. We might be checking out another one soon in Connecticut. Just think it'd be a fun thing to do, go out in the water, sail around, bring that puppy with us. Sounds like you guys heard Chad coughing in the background. Yeah, he's been pretty sick as well. He got sick first, so it's his fault. All right, guys, thanks again for coming by. That's all I got for you. But again, if you guys have any questions during the week, make sure to drop the questions into the comments of any of my videos. I put them all into a document. I save them. I actually usually answer them right away, and then I save them anyway and answer them during my live Q&A. Next week, I'll be doing another live Q&A as normal, regular time here, 8 p.m. Eastern time. The week after that, I'm not going to be doing it because I'll be back in Manhattan that night at Teachable.com's headquarters. They're having a live event to kind of help out course creators such as myself, to help us make our courses better. So I'll be there learning from them, learning about how to make the Titans course, the Dropshipping Titans course better, and my new VA course better. So I'm really excited about that. I went to one of their events a couple months ago. I learned a lot, and I'm excited to learn even more. So I'm not sure if I'm going to just delay the live Q&A by a day, or if I'm just going to skip it entirely that week. I'll have to decide later on. But I'm losing my voice right now, so I'm going to sign off. But thanks, guys. Make sure to give a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 4,000. All right, guys. Have a great night.